Greetings, everyone. tRUMP here, calling from the big island of Hawaii. Tina is just getting out of the hospital. She had major surgery again. People, you know her story. If you don't, read her book. We've been doing a show for 6 years, a little over. She's been up and down with all kinds of serious problems from what I call radiation. They won't admit that to nobody. Even though when she goes for operations, they film everything that happens. And they won't even let her see her videos of the operations and stuff like that. They say it's too controversial. But in the interim, we got a lot to get into. All right, Tina's not here, so I can get into a couple other subjects that most people might want to hear, might not. But my motto is truth only. And the only reason why I deal with Tina is I trust her 100%, what she says and what she's bringing out. She's becoming famous, which is a good thing, because people need to know the truth. Because the UFO world, to me, is a big lie. I was in it for about 4 or 5 years. I lectured with Sergeant 18 at the time. We were exposing more pictures of UFOs than anybody else in the United States. Not tic tacs, not dots and dashes. But in the interim, we're here now, and there's something happening at such a large, unbelievable way that we'll soon find out in a week, month. By the end of next month, we should know everything, because there's 2 different objects coming towards us. The Japanese scientist, I can't say his name, is totally out saying it's a ship and everything else, and it's sending out signals, and it's already giving us a warning. But people don't want to hear that. I mean, I don't get too many weird people on my site, or let them come on. But in all my time, I did show 12 years with TJ Morris. We only had 2 people calling that were making up stories and lying, and one came in crazy. But outside of that, I mean, on YouTube, Facebook, and I'm looking at people that comment on different things, especially in the UFO world. They're making fun of everything. I guess these people aren't ready for the truth, never will be, not in this lifetime. All right? I have my personal experiences, and so did Tina. So we're not here making up stories like all the UFO people, exaggerating the truth, twisting it, molding what everybody else says into their own truth, like Stephen Greer. Well, it's falling apart, and there's nothing important coming out in the UFO world, even with all these so-called whistleblowers all coming out, 20, 30 years later. Oh, well, I saw this and I saw that. No proof, nothing. And then on top of all that, nothing's changing. Well, I'll tell you this. In all the time I've been in the UFO world active, I lost 16 friends taken out. 2 were in jail. One's still in jail. One died. A good friend that I got out to come out in the UFO world was taken out as well. But the people I knew were, some of them are the top speakers in the UFO world, top people involved in the UFO world, and they're all gone. Funny how all these people, just for instance, Whitney Shriver, Richard Dolan, people like that are out there doing TV shows and lecturing. Now, people, when you go to a UFO conference, yeah, it's fun being around people that are interested in UFOs and aliens. But the problem is they don't listen to the truth, and they create more stories for these people to follow. Lies. Now, Tina is close to all the big name people because she's starting to lecture all around England. She's going to be trying to come to the United States soon. She always wanted to come to Hawaii and do a show with me here live. But, Hawaii is laid back as far as UFOs and aliens, even though I'd say 2 out of 10 to 15 people have seen a UFO, seen an alien, and things like that. I mean, people that live on the ocean, even homeless people, see these green orbs going in and out of the ocean all the time. Not drones, not tic tacs, things that are more solid than you could imagine. I can film ships every morning, early morning, late at night. if the sky is clear, which it has not been for months. I haven't been able to film in almost 3 months for more than 5 minutes. And a lot of times I go out, I see a ship, I'm running to get my camera, and it's cloudy. It's that crazy here. So what's going on with Mr. Trump in the United States, people, the world people are becoming programmed. He went to Japan, and what did they give him? A gold crown, while the United States is trying to fight him being a king. So what's Japan give him? A gold crown, like this big. He'll wear it. He'll probably try to wear it. But people, what he's doing is against morals, against normal people. The real people that care about him, the people helping him build this giant room in the White House and making it into a tourist attraction for his rich people friends, all right, which it will be, all right. And he's taking famous people in TV world and bringing them into government. I know he wants to bring the person from Strange Skinwalker Ranch, who lectured there, spoke there a couple of times. It's been in the UFO world, did work for the government for a while, back into it, while he sits there destroying poor people. The rich people aren't getting destroyed. Poor people are. The middle class people are suffering, and the sick and elderly are losing everything they have, or will be. It's sad. There'll be a revolution, and Mr. Trump, who supports guns, will probably change his mind in the next year, because there'll be revolutions in the street, and he'll remove guns from people. So we're headed for a major disaster at every level. Now he's working on a peace treaty with China, and he's doing these dopey things because he is actually opening nuclear testing again. People, this is about truth, and I know you don't want it. A nuclear bomb is not the most dangerous weapon on the planet, people. You need to realize Tesla gave the United States government 50 deadly weapons, more deadly than a nuclear bomb. All right. Now, the United States just built a spaceship, and it cost $44 billion, and it's got a lot of his weapons on it. They're not showing that much, are they? They're not talking about it. While he's opening up this and wants an open digging and making oil and gas like more important than free energy and things like that. It's just crazy. Take away food stamps is happening next week from most people, including me. It's sad what's going on in this world, people. I do the show. I pay for it. I don't get paid for this. I don't ask for money either. I'm not a beggar. I don't go around. Who knows? Starving on the street it'll be a little bit different, because I got a dog and a partner I take care of. People, we're headed for a major crash. And at the same time, once that happens, do you really think China's going to sit back and say, oh, well, we'll help you? No. They will move in. They've been building armies all around the world. Now, Russia, Mr. Putin, is the only one publicly talking about saying he worked with aliens, and do. The same as Bob Dean in the UFO world lectured about it while he was alive. About 27 alien races, people. Not 2, not 3. But the ones they were working for, none of them, not one alien race has ever helped humans at any kind of spiritual level or good level for living life. The only thing they work with the government, and Russia works with them for, is for weapons and food. It's a trade-off. Weapons for food. Now, I'm not going to get into the food thing because the whole UFO world doesn't like to talk about it, and doesn't. Aliens eat humans, people, whether you want to hear it or not. There's all kinds of proof about that. I'm not going to go into those details right now. I just want to keep going with this flow of what's going on, where we're going, and what's going to happen. The one ship should be here soon. Like the next couple of days, we should be able to see it and everything else. I got a really nice telescope, but it's a pain to try to use it. got 50 million knobs on it trying to focus and get it lined up with something that's crazy. But I got a small binocular, which I'm going to try to use today. But people, something's happening. And yes, we got the people, oh, it's this, it's poop, it's this, that, and everything else in space, and you name it. But it's sending out signals. All right, it gave us a warning sign already. It blasted out a satellite, which you're not talking about either. People, are you ready? We got Trump screwing up everything. We got UFOs coming, and it's going to happen soon. I always wanted it to happen in my lifetime because all my life I was involved with UFOs and aliens. They're both real people, and it's not like they're out there in space. No, they're here, and they're here for a reason. What I will say to get people a little more aware, which the UFO world doesn't like to do, aliens are in a body, and they drive around in a ship. Interdimensional beings do not travel in a ship, people. They don't need to. In your astral body, you don't need a physical body. In your soul body, you don't need a physical body. Demons, entities, and these entities that are coming here now don't need a spaceship. So now we got that, which is all real. And then we got aliens, ghosts, and spirits here at the same time. Now, spirits are souls that can't move on. They're not angels. I mean, if a person's talking to one of their passed over people, they didn't go to heaven. There's no reason to come back into hell if you're an angel. You're not an angel, but I mean to get into the astral plane even, which is where souls stay for a while. Most souls that go, they have karma on their back, and they have to come back and pay it off. And usually create more karma when they come back, and that's why most souls are still here, and they're not moving on. While they say spiritual, I don't think anybody has a clue what spiritual means. Never mind the truth about Jesus, the truth about God. None of it is in. There's 2,000 religions. Christianity has zero clue to a real God. They have very little truth about what Jesus was teaching. All right? Never mind, Jesus spoke about as well. But my new book comes out next month. I'm not writing about aliens directly in any way. I'm writing about the truth about Jesus, who he was, what he was, and why he came here and what he did. Not what he didn't do, not what people wanted him to do or thought he did. All right, big difference. No one's here to save your sorry ass. That's the first thing you got to figure out. God put us here to grow and learn, but we have to learn who we are, not who's helping us and who's going to feed us and take care of us and bring us to the next level of spiritual awareness and all those things. No person on this planet right now has any of the real, true psychic abilities. Jesus had 32. Mary Magdalene had 32. Aliens have about 2 or 3. They could have maybe 4, but I doubt it. But teleportation, dimensional, going through walls and things like that, they can do. But that doesn't make them a god, doesn't make them spiritual. And it's anything but. The psychic abilities cannot be used today. If they were used today, the world would be destroyed a lot faster than it's becoming right now. All right. What you think is right will probably never equal to what God thinks is right. Or even why you're here. Oh, I could get money. Rich people have money, so they don't care about normal things at all. The only time they get involved with anything is when their child's sick and dying or somebody in their family dies, and then suddenly, oh, what's beyond death and what's death? But they won't learn. And I have to say this in almost every show I do. And in the Bible, Jesus said it 3 times. It's easier for a camel to go through an eye of a needle than a rich person to get into heaven. I write it to Trump every day. I write it to Musk, and I write it to anybody that's rich, including Oprah. But I tried to get in touch with Oprah for 25 years, and she can't even get in touch with me or reply. Musk, another one. I've been trying to get in touch with him for over a year and a half to tell him the truth about UFOs, Tesla, and everything else. But he won't reply. And all the sites on the internet are fake. And there's over 14 that I know. And they all want to say you won a prize, you won a car, you won money, and all those kind of things. Famous people on the internet probably doesn't exist. These people that take on a role of a famous person, guess it builds their ego. They have nothing else in their life, so they got to pretend they're somebody. And then have all these people following them thinking he's great. And he takes part of that, or she takes part of that greatness as being themselves. I've been trying to get in touch with Gal Gadot, the one that played Wonder Woman. I dealt with about 12 fake people that claim that as well. One of them was a man. I use little tricks to find out if these people are real or not. I'm not going to tell you them because I don't want them to know the tricks, because then they'll get a little more apt, aware of what they need to do when they're pretending they're somebody on the internet. There's good video machines, programs. They can have me talking, saying what they want me to say, meaning Trump, Musk, or anybody. So it's really hard to tell the difference. When I was in the UFO world in the beginning, when we were filming, when I was working with Sergeant 18, we had one picture brought to a place in New York City, one of the top labs, photo labs. They analyzed the picture every which way they can to try to prove it was fake. And they couldn't say it was a UFO because who knows what a UFO really is based on scientists and all that. So they said this picture was not altered in any way. So basically what we shot was incredible. We did a show called Strange Universe. It was a TV show on for about 6 months. We did a show on there. They cut me out of most everything they were recording me saying and doing. But they put him on, and they put a video he shot. It was a ship. This is high speed. Only a couple frames of a video shooting super amount of pictures per second. Ship comes along, stops. 3 ships come out of it, and then it shoots out like that. All right. And this was in 1997. The TV show showed the video, and it said his name in the show and all that. Show was on. Like I said, they cut most everything I said, cut me out. I mean, I'm on it for about 2-3 couple of seconds here and there, but at the end, but what happened was the show was taken off the air the next week. That's the year 96 and 7. I'm not sure which one. Probably 97. But Bill Schneider was killed. They say committed suicide. John Ford was put in a nut house, saying he's crazy, on Long Island. All right. And now, very few people in the UFO world know over about 90 people in the UFO world were taken out. It started in 96. And also nuclear scientists were taken out the same year. So it was a really bad year for the UFO world. All right. Not that people even understand or know anything about the reasonings and why. But, and I'll say this, the truth is out there. But you will not hear it by many of the UFO speakers. They want people to come to a conference. Why do they want people to come to a conference? To make money. And what's that mean? Telling people stories. Because, here's a simple scenario. You got $200 in your pocket and you want to know the future. You go to a psychic. You give him $200 to give you a reading for an hour. What do you think they're going to tell you? Think about it. Why do you go to a psychic? To hear that information. Well, I want to know if I could. And you think they're going to tell you you're going to become homeless, you're going to be sick and die, you're going to get hit by a car, a plane crash. You think they're going to tell you that? 99% of psychics will not tell you the truth. First off, they will tell you you're going to meet a boy or a girl, you'll get married, you're going to have children, you're going to get a good job, and all these things that make you feel good. Now, you're going to pay $200 to feel good, obviously. You go to a bar, get drunk to feel good, not to feel bad. So if they're going to tell you, well, your mother's going to be in a car crash tomorrow, your daughter's going to be this, and blah, do you think you want to pay to hear that? Of course not. So in the UFO world, at a UFO conference, You think they want to tell you aliens only eat humans? All right. That's one of the reasons why they're here. All right. Now, they don't need 8 billion people either, so they don't worry about the population, nor does the secret government. But what's happening is the AI is going to become much realer, meaning it's going to have its own awareness, which they're not emitting, which it's already starting to. All right. But it's going to be based on programmed ideas of every single person on this planet. But in the interim, when aliens come here, which they're coming very soon, they will act it because they created it, they gave it to us. But here's the thing, they will give it an awareness. Don't realize, aliens are about thousands more advanced than we are, technically, not in any spiritual way. All right? And it will become a live entity. Meaning, we're losing jobs, and we're going to lose jobs, more jobs, lose and taken away every day, every month, every year now. Look at the layoffs in all these companies the past week. All right, the Army's working for nothing. Imagine that. And you're not angry at the person that's controlling it? Trump's going to keep the White House down just so the Epstein files don't come out, and what's really going down with that as well. The Prince, Andrew, being pulled out because he's connected to Mr. Epstein? Epstein did not commit suicide, people. Do you really believe? They don't have a video. If somebody's on suicide watch, there's a camera on them actively watching them. Again, everything about that was a lie. In the UFO world, the 16 people I know disappeared or committed suicide. All right. The second most important story in the UFO world was Phil Snyder. Oh, he committed suicide. His hand was blasted off this way. His stomach was cut from here down to his groin, right? His foot was blown out. How was he trying to commit suicide? Then when they found his body, he was wrapped up in barbed wire. No blood, nothing. How did he die? You know, they're covering that whole story up. And then you got these UFO people. Oh, it's a lie, it's a fake story, blah, blah, blah. Well, I can go on. I'm going to give you all the fake stories that are real. Sean David Morton was a good friend of mine for many years. I saw him go through relationships and friends and everything else. He got pulled into a scam, which I felt that he should have never have been pulled into because he was a psychic. He was considered about 86% accurate in the world because all the ones that are out there are about way less than that, like 40. The one that was on Montel Williams all the time, the old lady, she was only about 25% accurate. Some of them were maybe 42%, but none of them was as high as Sean. I was with him in New York City the year before 9/11 happened, and he said, this is going to happen in 1 year's time, and that actually happened during 9/11. All right, in detail. So my person I was doing UFO with was also saying he prophesized it. I wasn't with him and saw it and all that, but he didn't prophesize the whole thing in detail in any way. But here's the thing. I broke friendship with him for about 2 years because I said, look, you should have been there trying to stop the people from going in. A prophecy, people, a prophecy means something you're given to stop it from happening. Like Noah's Ark, all right, Sodom and Gomorrah. A prophecy is here to help us stop something major, not to just watch it. I told you so. Nostradamus made all these prophecies. He didn't stop things. All right, prophesizing things. Now, Billy Myers was one of the first big names in the UFO world for years. He put more videos of UFOs and everything else. But he did a lot of bad things, like creating a fake video and things like that. Even Jane Fonda went out there to buy him out and try to take over his whole thing. But a friend of mine brought him to New York City, California, to try to keep him here. But he had one arm, and he was doing his whole thing with photography with one hand and everything. But the UFOs just went around in circles all the time over his house. Well, pretty lame aliens, that's all they got to do. But he made a prophecy of 100 prophecies in 1950, and he sent them to every world government. It was 89 a long time ago, then it went up to 90, then it went to 94%, all came true. It wasn't out of his brain, it was out of the alien race he was supposedly working with. But between that, they didn't do much here, all right? They're not the ones that have been abducting people either. The plague Johns, is the way he said it, were here for certain reasons, but it had to do with the planet, not the people. As two or three races are worried about the planet blowing up. They do need the food from here. They do need certain things from here. Well, why are they here? If they don't want us, they would blow us up. And we're not ready for... We'll never be ready. Well, most people will never be ready for aliens to come here. Because they're not going to come here for any good reason. We're not going out into space for any good reason either. I've been trying to deal with Musk about truth and things like that, but he doesn't want to hear it. He's only into money. And I keep telling him when he dies, he's not taking it with him. He's not doing anything with it. He's trying to buy the planet piece by piece. What do you think he's going to do when he owns it? There's nothing good happening anywhere along the future. Religions are crashing. They got nothing to give people. Jesus isn't saving their lives, saving their children, and saving the world from being destroyed. That was never Jesus' mission. You don't go into hell to stop it from being hell. When Jesus faced Satan, not Lucifer, Satan was trying to tempt him to be part of his crew. He has an army here, and that's who's controlling these idiots with money. Money takes your brain out of its senses and puts it into another world. Now, I'm throwing so much at you, whether you want to believe any of it or not, that is your choice. All right, I don't lie, I don't cheat, I believe in God. Everything I say is going back to God, meaning I won't say anything against God ever, and I won't say anything that's a lie about God in any way, but I live my life according to the best I can for God, not for people. I could tell people lies. I could be one of the richest people on the planet in the UFO world because they got nothing important to say. I have pictures of ships all kinds of ships, but my ex-partner sold out to the government as well. People, MJ-12 is the highest group of people controlling most of the planet. All right, in the United States, they were created by Truman and Eisenhower. And when I was born, 1952, that's when a fleet of UFOs went over the White House twice in a week. And, well, we got to be careful and watch out for that. The secret government was to protect the world from knowing the truth about aliens. But in the interim, the deals they made about abduction and all that were part of it. And they can't release that either now, so that the disclosure is not going to happen. Disclosure is only going to happen when an alien race lands on the planet, blows up the White House or something like that, and they're standing there saying, go ahead and try. Now, if you watch the movie, the best movie ever made, I think, The Day the Earth Stood Still, not the second one with Keanu Reeves, the first one, this alien race comes around the planet and they say, look, you do what we're going to tell you or we'll destroy the planet. You don't have a choice. They try killing this robot, they try doing things, and then they realize they don't listen, the world would be destroyed. But if there was a good alien race, they would do that. But there isn't. They have never did anything for any human on this planet to make the world a better place. Technology they gave the government is dangerous, deadly, and toxic. All right? Now, if you're making weapons, and you got the worst weapons on the planet, the baddest, biggest, whatever word you want to use, do you show it to the world? Because people still think an atom bomb is the most dangerous thing. There was a neutron bomb, a proton bomb, electron bomb. Then we got directed energy beams. All right. Do you understand what the government does? They feed you information from 25, 50 years ago. Tesla gave the United States 50 deadly weapons a long time ago. And the worst weapon, even though it might not sound like a weapon, is called time travel. Nobody talks about that. Nobody. I'm not going to go into those details right now, but it's real. I was friends with the first person that ever went back in time and came back again and was slowly killed. All right, due to the time frame. I mean, it's 20-year cycles that the Philadelphia experiment was happening, and it's a real story. Again, the truth always gets pushed into stories, and the stories get pushed into the truth. The Enochs created the human race, and all those kind of ignorant moron ideas that people accept. Zachariah Sitchin was a fool, and I'd tell him to his face if he was alive. But he got people to believe his story, and it became really big. He twisted words that he thought he translated. I've been a Tibetan teacher for many years, and he could translate almost any hieroglyphics that, and basically you could see how he could compare the words to what's written and stuff. I couldn't follow through. I'm not that kind of a genius brain or anything. But the things he said were all accurate. You could prove them and things like that. But Zachariah Sitchin translated it in his own viewpoint, and there's many people that went against everything he prophesied or translated. So to believe that the Enoch and all those words of these beings that created mankind, it's all lies. Now, what I'm going to throw in, and Tina's not into it, but I will bring it up because she's not here right now. It's called reincarnation, which happens to almost all souls. Christianity doesn't want to believe it. Most religions don't. They want to believe they're good, they go to heaven. And what do these ignorant people think they're going to do in heaven? Now, there's 2.5 billion Christians on the planet. There's 2.3 billion Muslims, and there's 1.6 billion people in Hinduism. Hinduism a little bit closer to God, an idea of a God. Why? I'm not sure if you care about the story or not. Thomas and Mary Magdalene were the only people that left the country. Thomas went to India. And that's when you hear the story of Jesus went to India. No, Thomas went to India. They didn't walk around with a name tag and a flag. I mean, they wore the same things. They had a beard and everything. So they were called whatever people wanted to call them. Thomas's teachings drifted into Hinduism a little, not a lot. But there are parts still in Hinduism. So the Hindus created the first religion, and that had to do with all the deities that were here. Deities are just as real as everything else is, but they don't play with this planet anymore either. They got bored. Mankind's deteriorating since Atlantis was destroyed. Atlantis was the Garden of Eden. There were 9 races here. All right, 9, not 4. All right, 5 of them left. They had different colors. All the races were basically different colors. But the ones that stayed, black, yellow, red, and white, are the races that stayed. Blue, green, the crystal race. All right, all of them left. They attained awareness. They didn't have to stay in this realm. And you don't stay in hell because you want to save mankind. You can't save anybody except yourself, people. Souls here to learn who and what it is itself, not what the world is. And to think you're part of that consciousness, I tell people, if I was part of a universal consciousness, me and take me out of infinity completely, I wouldn't want to be part of it. We let prisoners go. We let murders go. We let rapists go back out on the street. Trump's doing his hell damage to the planet, and people love it. You know, Biden let prisoners go, but they were marijuana people and things like that, not killers and storming the White House, people that almost took out people in the government and things like that. People, you know, I lived in New Jersey, but in New York they let out, I think, 120 prisoners for overcrowding. Within 2 weeks, every single one of them had to be arrested and found because they all committed the same things again. People, criminals that are in jail should be in there, especially for rape and murder, not smoking weed. And nobody has the right to tell you what you can smoke. I don't care who it is, or what you can eat, what you can't do in your own house. If it comes to abuse and hurting something else other than yourself, you have no right to do it under God's laws. All right? You can smoke, drink, do whatever you want in your own little home by yourself. You want to commit suicide, you should have the right to do that. And you do. Because once you're dead, they can't stop you. But if you get stopped, then they put you in a nut house and keep you in there until they feel you're not going to do it again. But it's a game, people. They want to destroy the population while they want to keep people trying to commit suicide alive. Does it make any sense? Now, guns kill more people committing suicide, not by shooting them intentionally. So our morals are so twisted. Marijuana doesn't make anybody go out and kill people, beat people, any of those things. Drinking does, but drinking's legal. Marijuana wasn't, and it basically, most of the parts, still isn't. Do you know how that's controlled? Do you know why football and baseball are the most famous sports and everybody, most men are into it? What do they support? We support smoking. They stopped that, but they didn't stop drinking. Drinking kills. Smoking doesn't kill right away. Drinking does. Get drunk, get in a car and drive over people, run over, crash, whatever. It's 10 times, 100 times more dangerous than anything else is. People, do you have any morals? Do you know what morals are? There was a magazine when I was young, I used to get it, called Morals. And it showed the deterioration of morals then. I don't know what year it was. I had to be young, under 20, that's for sure. But people, aliens are not here for any good reason. They're not coming here for any good reason. They're not going to give us anything beneficial for the human race. And Trump, what he's doing is destroying everything. Our water, our air, saying no such thing as... Now they even got Gore to say that it was all fake. He made millions of dollars coming out promoting global warming. But in all the time he was making these millions of dollars, he never said one thing that actually caused global warming. Then the science came out and said, styrofoam caused global warming. Antifreeze caused global warming. Paper cups, all these things. Cow farts caused global warming. And Gates, believes part of that. He wants to stop farming. While they're creating cricket farms to make us eat crickets, and something even more gross than that, milk made from roach milk. So people, do you have a clue what's going on your own planet? Do you understand what's going down? Well, MJ-12 is the people that cover up the UFO world. But then we got UN Agenda-30. Now, this came out years ago. 193 countries agreed that it should be. All right? It will be in place by 2030. And they're at up to number 5, meaning 2025. By 2030, it will be UN agenda. All right? Nobody talks about the things that are happening. While you're starving, while you're going to be taken away from eating and living in a house, the underground cities are multiple around the United States. People, Jesse Ventura exposed that on TV years ago. He exposed so many things in 2 years before they took him off the air in his beginning of his third year. All right. He showed underground cities. He showed FEMA camps. He went into the White House and said, what is the HARP system used for? Well, we don't know what we wanted to use it for, blah, blah, blah. I mean, he did a number on what was wrong that people didn't know. But nobody listened. Nobody listened to the stuff that he put out. You can't taken down. He went up to the FEMA camps. Now, in the Ozarks, all right, it's the home of the New World Order. There's a building there with about a 6-foot wall around the whole building, guards walking around it. It's bigger than the White House. or almost, well, maybe just a little bit bigger. All right, and it's right over an underground city. People, do you care? You talk about money and we're definite. How do you think they paid for this? Denver Airport, for real, people. Whether you want to live in Cloud Nine or live under a blanket, a pillow, or dig a hole and bury yourself in it. The underground cities are all over the United States. When California was going into water shortage, they were pumping that water underground. All right. When they were testing out the HARP system, the power had to be shut off in California, or it would cause a major shift in the whole United States. There's reasons for everything that was happening, but you never got told any of it. Al Gore wasn't responsible for telling you any of that. He didn't know any of it. He was a puppet, and he didn't know what global warming even was. The Earth's shifting now. Every time the HARP system goes off, it produces an aurora borealis over it wherever they shoot. You know what aurora borealis is? It's beautiful. It's radiation waves. Nothing else, people. Do you understand anything? I mean, Mitsu Taki, whatever his name is, Japanese scientist, said, well, he didn't believe in God, he didn't believe in anything, and blah, blah, blah. But over the past couple of years, he came out and said, well, there has to be a higher source that created life. And just last month, Musk released this new AI saying that it's going to be, and they asked it a question what God is. Oh, it has to be some form of a higher intelligence. It's just repeating what he said. It's not like AI, oh, I'm a genius. I know something that nobody else knows. It's programmed by every thought people have. So guess what? And they could read your thoughts in your mind. They could understand your dreams. They could follow you every which way they want, psychically, physically, spiritually. All right. And they're trying to stop the spiritual side completely, trying to reprogram you. I learned hypnosis at 12, was hypnotizing all my friends at 14. This all fits into what's happening. Alien's only a small part of it. Well, when I hypnotized all my friends, I gave each one a certain word to put them into instant state of being aware to do what I tell them. All right, and I had all my friends witness everything I ever did. But at 16, I became a high priest. All right, and I was working against all the so-called high priests out there, including the one for the mob. All right, because they were putting spells on people so they didn't go to court and couldn't testify. I think that's how bad it was, people. But people didn't even believe in psychics or voodoo, witchcraft, and that's all fake. When I was a witch, and I say a witch, all right, there were signs in Jersey, put on poles. If you know a witch, put their address on this paper. And they would bomb the cars and bomb the houses and all kinds of things. All right. The truth's out there. But I was involved. This woman was a lawyer and a wrestler. Super big, husky woman. Well, she went to court. Made witchcraft a religion legally. Seriously. I was young. A long time ago. I'm 72 now. Sorry, people. But these all fit together. Where does psychic abilities come from? Why and blah, 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 all these things. Why were they burning the witches? Why were they doing all these things? Why did they burn and destroy the Quakers? I mean, you hear about this, that, and other thing. Who were the first slaves coming into the United States? Not black people. All right. What they did to the native people is not talked about. Nothing that ever happened to the native people and what they went through was ever written in a school book. And that's sad. You're given the false lies about how they scalp people and all that. It was the white people scalping native people, women, children, and men for money. They had to turn in a scalp because then that cavalry knew that native person was dead and they got paid for it. People, history is a lie. Science is a bigger lie. They can't prove anything. They can't prove the black hole, which is even, they can't prove in the Big Bang Theory. It's a theory. Theory means it's questionable or not provable. So you want to live your life on that? I was next to an alien. I was next to a ship. I was next to a Bigfoot. All right. I was in Bigfoot world because I was next to one. Then I was next to a couple of them out in the woods. I never got close to them. But people, even that's covered up greatly. Yeah, people film things and all that. And when it goes, well, this is fake. Oh, that's fake. Oh, that's not really a Bigfoot hair. That's not really Bigfoot poop. That's not this. How did they know? I was just talking to my wife about this morning because Tibet, they were showing that they do have the skeleton of a Bigfoot and a crown and its hand. But the United States, when they got samples, said it was a bear. Or it was a black bear. Black bears don't exist in Tibet, up on the mountains. So, you fed false information. I said, how can you compare something to something you don't have? If you had a Bigfoot, you can compare the hair samples. How can you prove that a Bigfoot doesn't have bear hair? The lies you've been fed in the UFO world, and the Ancient Aliens is the biggest bullshit show on TV. It's been on over, 16 years? And you still hear the same lies? Richard Dolan is a storyteller. I was on his site for a year and a couple months, paying him just to talk to him, and he never replied. I told him to go screw off because he wouldn't reply. Everybody's afraid of me because their truth sucks. They don't have any. So Joe and I showed 6 new pictures of UFOs every week. We were on Kerry Cassidy's show for 9 months, but they wanted me to pay $50 for every show I did. I wasn't making money doing it, so I had to let go of the show, which I shouldn't have. But because at the very end, Sergio and I had a big fight. He was against Sean David Martin, and it ended our friendship. And he sold out. Notice he's not in the UFO world, any big person right now. He's promoting himself as Jesus' disciple. I now debate him any day because I was alive when Jesus was alive. I was a female and all that. I don't want to get into it. It's just what ended our friendship after many years. But we did film more things than anybody else in the United States, maybe the world, as 2 people, all right? Not a group of people and one person turns. We put pictures up every week. We went out public in the United States and exposed orbs, which they're screwing up really bad now. Suddenly, orbs are drones. No, they're not. Never were. Foo Fighters used to see them all the time in ships and planes, and they came up the window and flashed out. They weren't drones, people. Jersey is infested with them. That's where we started doing our work for a major reason. Tesla was working there, and he met with an alien race, people, for real. But I'm not going to go into it. But again, all that's covered up. Tesla was working with DuPont, and DuPont claimed that was polluting and destroying the ozone layer, so they had to make a new DuPont chemical, Freon. But guess what? No different. I work with scientists in Jersey. They prove Freon is heavier than air. It can't go up into the ozone. All the lies you're fed is such a lie, and you believe it. And Trump feeds you programmed ideas every day. I'll try to draw this back together. I was a hypnotist all my younger days, starting at 6 years. Sorry, I'm going into my UFO thing, but started the UFO world at 6, but the hypnosis I started at 14. I met Kreskin twice. I learned hypnosis. At 16, I went to an army hypnotist who taught me more things and things to know and stuff. But at that time, I could prove things and make people find things and understand things that they went through. I was doing past life regression. I was the first person to do that. I wasn't famous. I didn't go public. I was working with friends and made out cards to get more people to do. But I pulled out of that and went into psychic implant removals. Another thing. Other person that did psychic implant removals for real. Implant removals also died. The people that were important are all gone in the UFO world. Am I important? No, because nobody listens to me. Nobody cares about the truth. But getting back to the point, these relate. Hypnosis, when I learned it, was by Kreskin. He was the top hypnotist in the United States. He said hypnosis is called the power of suggestion. And the way he worded it or described it, he said Hitler controlled his country by that. You tell people over and over, if I tell you every day you're a chicken, in a couple of years you will believe you're a chicken. All right? So when I started doing my work, I learned how simple it was to hypnotize somebody. Sure, there's people, and this sounds contradictory. The stupider you are, the harder you are to hypnotize. Because you can't retain a thought long enough to be hypnotized. Where I was teaching this army hypnotist magic, because I was a magician for many years, and he was using it when he worked with children, because children's attention is pretty scattered. But when he was doing magic tricks, their mind would focus and he would be able to hypnotize them. Well, Trump has his face on the internet and TV every single day. Whether he's telling the truth or not, you're hearing his brain, his waves, his energy. It's going into yours. And you keep hearing it, it changes your subconscious mind. Subconscious mind accepts it. It takes about 21 days only to reprogram your subconscious mind. And he's been doing it for years now. And he's on TV, he's on the internet probably, 1,000 times a day? So it's called conditioning, reprogramming. And I call it the power of suggestion, which is really hypnosis. Now, aliens are doing the same thing. Tina's one of the few people, she doesn't remember everything. That's why she wants to do a hypnotic thing and work with a camera and even get a lie detector there to do it. I wish we could get some money to help fund to do it because everything's so expensive to do that even. All right. So we go back into hypnosis. Subconscious mind. In hypnosis, the hypnotic society will tell you you cannot be forced to do anything you don't want to do. Another lie. Now, the army hypnotist was the one proving the opposite. He could hypnotize somebody to shoot his wife, his children, to try to kill his best friend, and all that. I even proved it to my friends. I mean, I didn't tell them when I was doing it to them. My brother even witnessed this, and he goes, "Oh, you made this all up." I said, "I don't make anything up. I don't lie, I don't cheat, I don't steal. I don't try to bring false truth out. I try to bring the truth out." So when the people say alien abduction, it's an abduction, people. It's not, you don't become an experiencer, which is the UFO word now. I'm an experiencer. I was taken on a ship. I was brought to Venus and Jupiter, and I saw the cities, and bullshit. Your body, and you're not a spiritual traveler, so you're not going to be getting there that way. All right. Now, the mind takes on ideas and thoughts very easily. So they reprogram a person when they take them and say that you saw all these things. I'm not going to say the famous person in UFO world. He's got his own show and everything. He's a bullshit artist as well. He said the alien showed him the past, present, and future. And this was years ago when he first said that. And he said, well, the Earth is going to be destroyed in 2 years. Sorry, it didn't happen. Another famous hypnotist, UFO person, I can't even say his name, but he also prophesied the same thing. He went out to James Gillen's ranch, and I told him be careful, and he was programmed by the energy that was there, and he changed. He lost any spiritual connection he had. People, between demons and aliens, most people cannot tell the difference. And they're both there, or they could be there together. I worked with John Edmond before he died, all right, on the Stardust Ranch. I brought a person out there with me. We filmed aliens. We filmed all kinds of weird stuff. His wife was possessed. We got a picture of the demon that was over her and all kinds of things, people. It's all real. But you're not ready for any bit of truth other than, well, if I'm good, I go to heaven. Jesus will make sure I get there. He's going to come back and pick me up and bring me there. You know, if your family killed you and you came back, would you go out, hang out with your family again? I doubt it. And if you did, you're pretty stupid. Religion is dying. Because there's really no such thing as religion. God is not a religion. Well, it was molded into the idea of being that. Jesus did not come here to teach a religion. He did not come to teach you lies and fantasies and stories either. You're not protected here on this planet. Soul, which is what you are, is eternal. But that eternalness could stay here or keep moving on. Most souls do not move on. They go to the astral plane and reincarnate. Aliens are dying, obviously, into humans now. It's a higher level. Technology doesn't make you higher in any way. Higher in space, higher on an elevator, but not higher spiritually. And they don't believe in God. Now, people, if you don't believe anything, I want to know what one alien looks like. Go online. All right, this is a real video. All right. They have an alien, and they're interrogating him. Alien interrogation. It's like 3 parts, and you got to watch all of it. Listen to what they say. They don't have any truth about God, spirit, death, and any of that. But they did say one person's going to destroy the planet. Could it be Trump? No, I don't think he has the ability of the brain, or he's too far out of it every which way to be that person. Plus, his mind's deteriorating rapidly, and so is the world. So, people, as we get closer to the end times, which we could have stopped if mankind united, not in the make-believe peace treaty or whatever words they use. Raising the tariffs on people doesn't make people more friendly. We were friends with Canada. Now, Canada is not friends with us. I mean, Trump's out there talking about making the wars end. The day that he said we ended we're working and we ended the war, Israel bombed them and stuff, it's all lies. It's all false ideas, false truth. Well, I could go on a little, but I want to bring a couple of little things. Putin, 3 months before Trump was elected the first time, on Russian TV, for real, said, I want Trump to come out and tell the world what really happened at 9/11. Whether Trump really knows or not, that's a different story as well. But then he says, I want Trump to come out and tell the world what the United States is doing with aliens, which Trump does not know either. So he became president. Nothing was ever said, but Trump and Putin meet, and they're in this room together by themselves. They could have killed each other, but they didn't. Imagine if you killed Trump or Putin, you'd be super famous for the rest of your life in history, rest of people's lives. But here's the thing. The day after Putin leaves, goes back to Russia, Trump comes out and says he created the Space Force. No, he didn't create nothing. Space Force was always there. And guess what? They spend more than a so-called deficit yearly. If you want to believe the truth or not, the spaceship they built cost $44 billion. Right? Never mind all the secret programs, special programs, and everybody else working in it. But now the White House is shut down. A lot of people aren't getting paid. You don't think any of these people should be getting mad? I would be. And would I still support Trump? People are so programmed, and they have to be, to allow that to happen. If 1 million people sit in front of the White House, what would happen, people? Would you call out the army and blast them all away? Think about it. He's creating an army for everything. He's taking away freedom. He's taking away money. So where's that going to lead, people? Do you have a clue? Even if you're a brain-dead zombie, if you're going to eat, you have some kind of thought in your brain. What do you think's going to happen? Taking away food stamps, taking away Social Security. Who's it going to kill first? Think about it. Do you have any family that's poor, elderly, old, or sick? What do you think? You're going to support them now? Really? Get with it, people. You live in zombie land. You want to be a zombie? Go right ahead. Destroy the planet. And then what do you think you're going to have? Zombie peace land? Really? Oh, I want to eat your hand. Oh, I want to eat your head. I want to blah, blah. I want your heart. They were always selling body parts years ago. And they still are greatly. Never mind children. You're in a sick world, people. And if you want to stay here, that's your choice. You want to believe it's good? Oh, it's beautiful. I'm in Hawaii. I'm looking at palm trees out my window. I could walk 10 minutes and be next to the ocean. But the crime around it's incredible. We don't want to hear the truth. I mean, the simple things like we got fire ants everywhere. And they bite and they hurt. We have wild boar running the streets. We have roosters everywhere you look. All right, it's beautiful if you like those things. All right, we got centipedes that really bite hard. We got a lot of things that make it like not the most beautiful place on the planet. All right, people. Any questions, please email me, hawksblood1aol.com. If you're actually listening to this show, please send it to everybody you know. We're in danger, people, at multiple levels, above and below, here and above, all right? So, are you ready? Must says, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you really ready? I mean, the first things that are going to happen, you're going to have no money and no food. And then if you can't pay for your rent, then what happens, people? What do people do when millions of people have no food, no house, no nothing? What are we going to do, people? You know, and his army has masks on so people can't see him. I mean, they're not telling you much, but there's people getting killed already. And I mean, if there's a riot, a protest, I'm not going to say a riot, they make it into a riot so they can kill these people. Or bite them, hurt them, and damage them. Now, when the Native people were doing that on the pipeline, never told on TV, never showed any of it. They were torturing 2,000 Native people, over 2,000 people, spraying them with water in the middle of the cold winter, having helicopters fly over them all night long so they can't sleep, having dogs, wild these dogs they would bring in and let them attack these people and stuff. It was horrible. Went on for a couple months. Then what's Trump do when he becomes president? Well, and he knows it's the Native people because they're putting their pipelines over Native land. Well, anybody gets caught trying to stop this pipeline, they'll get 25 years in jail automatically, meaning the Native people. So, you know, and then he has this Native chief standing next to him. Oh, we all love Trump. We all love Trump. He's so full of it. He pays this guy to be dressed up as a Native elder, medicine person, and tell a lie. People, you can listen to it, you can believe it, but I'm glad I only believe in God. Nothing else. Everything else is a lie. With that, people, enjoy your day. You heard it here first. You'll hear it again. I'm sorry Tina wasn't able to come on, but she's working really hard to become famous, which is a good thing for her. People need to know the truth about abduction. It's not going away, and it's super large numbers now. So, enjoy the day, night, wherever you are. Peace, love, passion, whatever you need in your life. Hope you get it. Hope you find it. Look for the truth. More important than anything else. Let's just show you where I stand, people. Again, peace.